Hi guys, and welcome in this new video. Today we're going to talk about how to prepare a building site. I'm here in our new flat and I'm doing some visits, some appointments with the construction company. Why is this so important? Because everything starts from the first time that you see the flat, alright? Because when you go into the flat, many times happens that it still have all the furnitures, for example, so it's not so simple to suppose how it can become. From that point, you have to ask to the real estate agent to send you the plan, because by that way you can understand which kind of walls you can put down and which you can, in order to distribute in another way all the space that you have, right? Because what you have to understand is that you buy a surface. By that surface you can construct something new. One thing that you must consider is that as more walls you put down and you have to rebuild them, as more the cost will increase. So the demolition of the walls and the construction of them is one of the three aspects that costs more in a reconstruction. This is the first one. The other one are the bathroom. Renewing a bathroom is really expensive. And another important point, which determines how good your investment will be, are all the materials that you will use. The floors and the covering of the bathroom. These are the three main voices, and then you have all the other voices, alright? So, from the beginning, you have to ask to your architect to plan the new flat. This way you can understand which kind of wall you have to put down and which kind instead you have to put as new. After designing the new plan, the architect will be able to estimate every single voice that will be remade in your flat. So starting from the walls, the electricity part, all the paintings and so on. After this, he will be able to give you the technical layout. With the technical layout, you can estimate with the building company how much will cost your building site. One important aspect with them is to be precise. Being precise permits you to tell them if they made something wrong, if they made something that they didn't have to make, or if they had to do something that they haven't done. You must be precise. As more precise you are, as easier it will be to ask the companies to make the estimation of all the costs. So let's try to see how it works. We have our technical layout.
This is how it looks like. As you can see, you have the specific voices of every operation that the building company have to do. Now I will go through every single voice, every general voice, in order to let you know what you must consider. But for every building site, this might be longer or shorter. It depends on what you want to do. The picture that I let you hear is just a part, it's just an example of our technical layout.
And what we have to see is all the construction and demolition that you have to do. Every single voice. And the company, the building company, must have the old and the new planimetry in order to understand what must move and what not. The architect must give the company the yellow and red planimetry. In this way, with the red one, they can understand what they have to build as new, and with the yellow one, they have to understand what they have to destroy.
This is the yellow and red paper. As you can see in this picture, you can understand which kind of walls must be put down and which kind of walls must be realized in order to create the two new units.
So after the destruction part, you have the building part. In this way they can see everything. You must tell them what they have to furnish you. They must know which kind of materials they have to buy and which not, and how many of them. They have to know, you have to buy for me 10 pipes, for example. You must give them the number. They must know perfectly which materials they have to buy and which not. Usually what we do is to let them buy everything, and the only things that we buy apart are the furniture. As for example, tiles, types and fittings, and these voices. We send them an attached document where they see what we furnish and what we don't. After that, they have to know which parts they have to paint. Usually you paint everything, you must paint everything, and which colors, how many meters. How do the building companies know how much they have to estimate? They know how many square meters they have to paint, how many square meters they have to shade. Another important aspect is that you have to shade the walls, because in that way you give a better result. If you don't shade the walls, even if you paint them, the aspect will be as an old one. Because if you have, for example, cracks on the walls and you paint on them, they will come back up. Instead, if you shade the walls, these cracks will not come back out. Okay? So another important aspect that many investors and many building companies don't do because it costs a lot. It's another voice that costs a lot. The first one, we may say, is the shaving of the walls. You have to shave the walls, as you have to shave your bird. I do never do that, but I just cut it a bit. Anyway, the other voice is floors, the materials that you will use for the floors. The materials will be a part in the attached document, and all the voices that needs to prepare the floors are inside the estimation layout. After that, another voice is the windows. Windows are another material that costs a lot. It's the most expensive materials that you have in a flat. Why? Because you have a lot of windows in flats and they are an expensive material. As materials, the first one, the one that is most expensive are the windows, then you have the floors. And second one, it always depends on the quality that you will use. Usually, the investors use a medium quality, because if you use a low quality material, nobody will come in and see how the flat was made and be happy about it, and they will never decide to buy it. This is why you mustn't use a low quality material. At the same time, you mustn't use a too high quality material, because the increase of perception that the customer will have won't be enough compared to the price that you can increase. Okay, so use medium quality material in order to have a good balance of quality of the work and income that you will have. That's another important aspect. Every voice, every work that you do in your flat must be balanced on the relation between quality and income. Keep it in mind. Windows, pipes, all the hydraulic part. It's another important voice, especially for the bathrooms. Usually pipes and everything about the hydraulic part is something that costs, that increases your costs. So consider many times it's not you always necessary to, for example, in a 2-bedroom apartments, it's not always necessary to create 2 bathrooms. Why? Because the increase of value that you will have from creating a new bathroom won't be enough to cover the cost of it. That's important. Last but not least, we have the air conditioning units. Also, these are really necessary. This is a plus that is not a plus anymore. In every kind of flat, in every kind of apartment, you must have the air conditioning system. It's like not having the warming system. It's necessary now. It's not a plus anymore. Except in those flats where you may rent it, or you're in a place, in an area of the city where you can't sell the flat into normal prices, but you have to be really low. It must be a balance between buying low, keeping the cost low, and selling low in order to be fast, just because maybe it's a little flat, a 1-bedroom, and you have to sell it fast to someone who wants to rent it as an investment. So these were my consideration about the building layout that you have to prepare. Hope it was understandable. I know I have to improve my English. What can I tell you? Another thing is that you have to prepare some projects, for example, rendering. You have to be sure about what you're going to prepare to build, because in this way you can package the investments before starting it, and when it starts, the building company must come in. Another important aspect is that the building company must come in, work, keep on working, never stop, going through the times that they told you. If they don't respect the times that they told you, they must go out of the flat. You must give the work to another company. Don't work with those companies that start asking you the money when they mustn't ask them. You have to prepare a contract. When you decide together, you do this and I will pay you. If you don't do this, this is what is going to happen. Usually what happens is that if a building company doesn't respect the times they have to pay for every day of late. How do they pay? You don't pay them. This is how you pay them. You put them out and you don't pay them for every day that they are late. It's normal to be late for some days. It depends on every building size, but don't work with those companies that start not going to the flat and work. You must put them out. That's really important. So let's give a look to the flat. This is the entrance. From the entrance, we're going to create 2 flats. For example, in this space that you see, there will be a bathroom, the bathroom of the 1-bedroom flat.
This is silent noise.
This will be the kitchen here of the 3-bedroom flat, and this will be the room of the 1-bedroom flat. This wall won't exist anymore, and this is going to be the dining room, the dining space, and the living room all in here. Here we create the children room with 2 beds, lots of space for them. And this space is going to be open. And here we're going to create the master room. bathroom, biggest bathroom. Here we are going to create a new bathroom. And here another bedroom. Here we are on the terrace. As you can see, you have a lot of light, a lot of space. More or less 60 square meters faced on the living room. And from this point of view, what is going to happen is this. This will be the open space area of the one bedroom. Kitchen in here. Television and the sofa with the window to go on the terrace, as you can see.
Guys, let me know if this recording was useful to you. Subscribe the channel and write down in the comments. See you, bye.